So I'm Gil Young, and I'm the district supervisor, and we're at Forest Ridge Park at our beautiful Pollinator garden. It's off old Highway 98 near Wake Forest. The Parks Department installed it in 2017, and it was actually an idea by the Riverhawks from the Wildlife Federation. And we kind of did the installation with the help of our horticultural team. And we're lucky enough to have them where they do a ton of the maintenance. And they're really a big reason to why this pollinator garden is so successful.
We're Herb and Pat Amix. We're members of the Neuse River Hawks, the local chapter of the North Carolina Wildlife Federation. We have a partnership with Forest Ridge Park to work with this garden.
The purpose of the pollinator gardens is to help the populations of bees, butterflies, and all kinds of insects, which are losing ground in terms of their ecosystem. So we provide this, and if we have enough of them, we have them all in a row, so we have chains of pollinator gardens. And that's where we really produce bees, butterflies, and so on. We emphasize native plants here, although not totally exclusively. And so they are just natural attractants. And the pollinators come primarily for the pollen, but also they use the plants for their babies, the caterpillars and the nymphs and so on, so that they can overwinter. And they overwinter here in the garden and then produce more in the next spring. We try to keep in mind food and shelter for the insect population, particularly emphasis on butterflies and monarchs. We have at least 4 species of milkweeds here, and so we attract monarch butterflies, and we produce hundreds of caterpillars here.
We leave a lot of the plants, instead of getting rid of them in the fall when they start to turn brown, we leave them for winter interest, but also they're homes for some of the insects in the winter time, the hollow stems. And that's another way we encourage them to stay around. This garden was planned from the very beginning by the Wildlife Federation and Raleigh City Parks horticulturists. And so I think that's one of the reasons it's been so very successful. We've had a lot of professional input from both sides into it. And there are also populations of the native milkweed within this park, 2 very healthy stands of it. So it's a very important resource.
Unique to a wildlife garden, and that is that it provides temporary and permanent shelter for many wild species, primarily reptiles, amphibians, and of course thousands and thousands of insects, and unfortunately deer.
And that is one of the reasons the official name of the garden is the Forest Ridge Wildlife Garden.